What's up, guys? Salnakam is here with
Gresh1,
and we're back at it to answer your questions yet again in another installment of For the Greater His wall went on a little too long.
This is a video series of us answering questions left by you, the viewer. If you want to ask us a question, simply comment down in the section below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those first. And that's how we can answer your questions.
Now, if you guys are feeling naughty, you can play the question game. Every time we say question, take a little sip of any kind of beverage you want, preferably alcohol, because most likely you won't make it past this video.
No, or Sunny D. Sunny D is really good.
Yeah.
This question comes from Florian. He asks, the Ultramarines got bigger in numbers around the same time as the two unknown Astarte chapters got expunged, which is likely due to the remaining Loyalist Marines being integrated into the Ultramarines chapter. Will the genetics of these integrated Space Marines still be the same from their old chapter, or would they have been altered to fit into the Ultramarine chapter? And if they didn't get altered, would it be possible that the Ultramarines living in 40K could be one of those who were integrated from another chapter and be able to tell the tales from the lost chapter? Maybe a dreadnought? Yes.
Very, very good theory, but yeah, it is. Is it confirmed or is it just a theory?
No, it's just a theory, but it's like a perfect way for you if you have your own chapter. If you're creating your own chapter and you want it to be part of the Lost Legion, that's a perfect way for you to use the lore of Warhammer 40K as it stands now, and put that towards your army. Is it like in any books or anything like that? No. And the reality is that if you had the Ultramarines, and then you had all these other Marines integrated into it, you would slowly, as those integrated Marines died out, their gene seed wouldn't be shared. Much like the Traitor Legions did, especially the Wordbearers Legion. The Wordbearers Legion did that to Terran-born Wordbearer Legionnaires.
Right.
So the majority of the Legion was from Terra, and they were extremely loyal to the Emperor. When Lorgar took power, he slowly, made sure that all the Terran-born Wordbearers died. Made sure that they were the ones who were destroyed and their gene seed not shared or anything like that.
They were always put into the front lines, take on the most dangerous missions.
And that's what the Ultramarines would have done. Not necessarily Gillman, because he's more interested in like guiding his crusade, but his what are they called? The medics of Space Marines. His apothecaries would probably be in charge of like, this unit is not Ultramarine. Once they die, they die.
Right.
But yeah, but you could twist it in certain ways.
Yeah, you could say that instead of them being, or anybody that showed traits of the Lost Legions, maybe they were like outright killed, and all the other guys were then integrated.
Exactly. Next question.
This is by Dark Lightning. How did Gillman get so many Primaris Marines, and are they clones? So basically, Belisarius Cawl had created them like 10,000 years ago, and they were just put in stasis up until they were needed. Kind of like Pokemon. You put them in your box, in your PC box, and you just leave them there until you forget about them.
There you go. John Redcorn. What non-Primarch or Space Marine chapter had the saddest death? And also, can we get a battle rap freestyle from you guys? Dissing your most hated character from Warhammer 40K. So, what is the saddest death of a non-Primarch or Space Marine chapter? The only one that comes to mind is the Lamenters. By non-Primarch, I'm guessing like not first founding chapter.
Lamenters?
Yeah, the Lamenters, because they kept getting... like, everything bad happened to the Lamenters, and then at the end, like, they were punished, even though they were just defending themselves and their right to govern their own, like, chapter or whatever.
So basically, they're like Eugene from Hey Arnold.
Basically. It's like a chapter full of Eugenes.
They just That'd be horrible, man.
And can we do a rap freestyle? I do not have the energy for that right now. Sorry, man.
Yeah, the last rap I had didn't really sit well in my stomach, so you're gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
Maybe in Christmas, I hear there's gonna be a lot of rapping, so we'll probably do that then.
Next question.
Big Terror. Do you think Garviel Loken is truly dead, or will he return to the lore sometime in the future? So Loken was the main dude from the Luna Wolves that was like loyal and was fighting against Abaddon and Horus since they turned traitor and whatnot. There will be lore on him coming out pretty soon, because he's one of my favorite dudes in 30K. So I sit back, wait for that one. But yeah, I think he's dead, because I feel like whenever they bring somebody back from the dead, like it kind of cheapens their death. So I don't want him to do that this time.
This question comes from Arkid07. Who is the most likely ex-Primarch Demon Prince who will have the first taste of the Primaris Marines?
Mortarion.
Yeah. Because that's what they're bringing out now.
Yeah, it was Nurgle against Primaris, so...
Yeah. Next question.
Gorguts Ed Hunter. Oi, question. When am I getting a model like that Umi? Also, what do the orcs equal to them Primaries boys? So what's an equal model for the orcs? Would it be a knob? No.
Stat-wise, not really. There's really nothing that it's comparable. But I do feel that the orcs are going to get an upgrade. Because if everything is supposed to be to scale, Space Marines are supposed to be the same size as orcs, because orcs slouch. So right now, if you stand an orc next to a Primaris Marine, like you can, tell a big difference.
Yeah.
When will we get those out? Probably when the Codex comes out.
Hopefully.
Even though you said that GW made a statement that they're going to try to bring out the Codexes as quickly as possible for Christmas.
Right, but before Christmas.
So if that's true, then maybe we won't get like huge attention to new models like the Space Marines are getting for the individual factions, but we'll probably get like 1 or 2 models for each Codex release.
Yeah.
The thing that's gonna show that is how they treat the Chaos Space Marines. Okay, so this question comes from Jake Kingsman. When will you release another tasty creepypasta?
Ooh.
Soon, very soon. Like in the next 2 weeks, hopefully. Next question.
This one is by Dragon Smoke. Do you think we'll ever learn more about the 2 unknown Primarchs in 30K? Probably not. They've kind of put hints and pieces of lore into the 40K history and whatnot, and that's probably all they're gonna do, because they're meant to kind of be a fan-created chapter. It's meant for you guys to buy your models, paint them the way you want to paint them, and just field them with your own lore. Because if they add, let's say in the near future they put information on, the 11th Legion or the 2nd Legion, I feel like that's gonna kind of rustle some jimmies for some players, because now it's like their own chapters is like, doesn't make sense, it's obsolete.
Yeah. Next question comes from Cold Flame. Can a regular guardsman get into the elite squad like the Orc Hunters? If so, how? I think Orc Hunters are only made up of veterans. And each regiment is different. So when you look at the elite regiments like the Stormtroopers, those guys have to go through the Schola Progenium. So like from birth, they have to be trained to be like elite Stormtroopers.
Right.
So the answer is no, not really. Not always. Unless you're like the Orc Hunters and you are a veteran.
Yeah, to be a veteran in general is very hard, because if you're a guardsman, you're out in the front lines, you're gonna die.
Yeah. Next question.
Michael Howell. I am starting my own Space Marine army. I used to be a tanker in the U.S. Army, and I want to incorporate that by adding a lot of cavalry and armored cavalry. What chapter or legion is known for using heavy war machines? The Death Corps of Kree. They ride horses. They got tanks. The Rough Riders, another Imperial Guard regiment that has horses, cavalry. Or if you're looking for Space Marines, Iron Hands. You got a lot of tanks. I guess what's it called? The Raven Wing. They have cavalry in the form of like land speeders and whatnot, jet bikes. So yeah.
I just recently did the lore to the Storm Phantoms or Star Phantoms.
Star Phantoms, yeah.
They're they like firepower, so you can bring in a lot of like tanks and like big heavy weaponry and machinery, and also bikes with like plasma guns and melta guns, stuff like that. This question comes from Spider-Man T1. Which chapter is the most specialized in drop pod assaults?
Raven Guard?
Yeah, they're fast attack. Like, that's their thing.
Yeah.
Either that or they send in a lot of jump troops.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the new jump troops there's two variants of jump troops for the Primaries Marines. They're the ones that have like the big, bulky jump packs. And then they have these other ones where the jump pack has like a little fin. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen that.
It looks really goofy.
Fin?
Yeah, it's like two little vents that come out. It's just goofy looking. But anyways, I wish I could because we've done a lot of lore on Space Marines, and the problem with that is that they all mesh together.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to keep them separated. So like, I wish I could just recall by memory like what each chapter is special for. I'm pretty good with the first Founding Legions, but once you get to like the successor chapters, it's really hard to remember what the difference is between like the Blood Ravens and like some other. I
So
can't
you
even think of
remember.
them. Shit, yeah. All right, next question.
This is by All Might. If the Primarchs were to fight superheroes, Batman, Superman, Iron Man, etc., would the 40K universe come out on top, or would the superheroes be triumphant?
It depends on the scenario and everything. So it's so superheroes and what?
Against the Primarchs. Like seeing Angron going up against Hulk sounds cool.
Yeah.
But again, Hulk doesn't have any weapons or anything like that. Angron, he's got his armor. I don't know if he'd have his Legion behind him or whatever. There's a bunch of factors to think about.
Yeah.
But it'd be pretty cool to see.
Right. This question comes from Whippy1001. Who would win in a song battle? Noise Marines or Judas Priest's The Metal Gods?
Noise Marines.
Okay. Next question.
This one's by Jonathan Jones. With everything that's happened in the Dark Imperium, with the Eye of Terror exploding and chaos running rampant, what do you think Khaldor Drago has been up to? Do you think he may return to real space? No, he's still gonna come out sporadically and assist the Grey Knights here and there. Or maybe he's actually the Silver Knight of Slaanesh and he's actually fallen to chaos. We'll just have to wait and see.
Deviants. He has two questions. We know we're getting more Primarchs and stuff. Theorize about the scenario resulting in the return of the likely Primarchs. Okay. So let's talk about the Salamanders first, because that one's easy.
Yeah.
So they finally solved their it's not a jigsaw puzzle. What is it? Their scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
And they found all the pieces, and you know how the Salamanders are almost destroyed every single time. Same situation. They're probably They're down to the last 10 men.
Yeah.
And then Vulcan comes back somehow.
He is a perpetual, so.
Yeah. The Lion returns because of Cypher, yeah. Either Cypher is found to be traitorous, and Lion comes back to say, like, you know, or to trap him, because their whole goal is to take down the
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
So possibly that. And then who else? Oh,
Lehman
Russ. How do you think he would come back?
Probably riding some like giant wolf into battle, just out of nowhere.
Yeah. No. Oh, because the Lion is back. The Lion and Lehman Russ come back together. Not fighting, but as friends. Because, you know, they have that rivalry.
That bromance. They were wrestling for like a whole day.
And who else?
Korax. Raven Guard, dude.
Yeah. I don't know too much about his lore.
Yeah, basically he got mad because he didn't do as well as he should have during the Horus Heresy, and he's kind of been just like depressed in his tower. So maybe he'll come out one day and he'll be rid of his emo phase and he's ready to fight.
There you go. And he has another question. You commented on Grey Knight Primaris Marines being likely in the future. Special units have always been the bread and butter of Warhammer army creation. Will we likely see Primaris versions of the other faction special units, such as Deathwing Knights in Gravity Armor, Dark Angel Veterans, Sanguinary Inceptors, and Bikes, etc.?
Sounds cool.
And definitely, yes.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like they're kind of already doing that. Scouts, Reavers, Centurions, Aggressors, maybe? Because they do have Power Fists with Spulchers and they got the Missile Rack.
Yep.
So we'll see, but I think that's a high chance of it happening.
Yep, especially if the codexes are coming out and they're trying to bring the codexes out really quick. They want to not only put the codex out there, but also a special unit that pertains to the Primaris Marines would be an excellent combination.
It'd be very awesome to see Sanguinary, you know, like you said, Sanguinary Guard, but in Primaris form.
Yep.
Especially the Chapter Masters. That's what I want to see. Like, I want Calgar to get a new model, Dante to get a new model, Logan Grimnar, so that'd be awesome.
And those were the questions for this episode. If you guys want more questions answered, please comment down in the section below. Even if your question was not answered this time around, ask it again, because we'll get to it at some point.
All right. If you guys were playing the question game, how many shots did you take? How great was that Sunny D?
Comment down below.
Also, like you said, if we didn't answer it, we'll answer it once again. We do this 3 times a week. Also, you can talk to us via Facebook. Facebook is probably the best way to get to us. One-on-one, send us a message. If you want to support us, we do have a Patreon page. A simple $1 goes a long way. We do have a Twitter and an Instagram for more things 40K. As always,
Gershwin,
Sound Alchemist, we are One Mind Syndicate, and we are out of here.